All right, guys, we're almost ready. I'm just making sure that we are showing up live and in the right place. That's always my fears. I'm going to go live in the wrong page or just live, on my wall, which I'm sure everybody would benefit from hearing from Brad tonight. The rest of the world should hear all of this too. All right, let me record and then we'll be good to go. Let's see. Where's the record button? Record on this computer. Okay, we're good. All right, so I'm not going to talk a very long time because I would like to give Brad the floor and also not take up too much of his time tonight. But Brad and I connected recently here on Facebook, actually. And just to give you a little bit of background on him, he actually used to be a Beachbody coach and he moved into motivational speaking. So he is very, very familiar with what we do as coaches and the heart behind it. And he has a big heart for helping coaches work on their mindset and push through those limiting beliefs that we all need to be working through and getting rid of that negative self-talk so that we can advance in our business. He has worked with a lot of other big name teams out there. You'll probably recognize his names: Melanie Mitro, Jen Richardson, Amy Rada, Micah Folsom. Those are just to name a few of some of the teams that he has worked closely with and really helped their teams succeed. So Brad, I'm going to hand this over to you so you can share more about what you do and what you have to say for us tonight.
All righty. Can you guys hear me? I just switched microphones. Is that coming through?
Yes, it is.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I am beyond excited to chat with you guys tonight. And just so we make sure it's coming through, type in the chat box just to make sure that everyone on the receiving end of this can actually see it too. Just make sure we're good to go with sound and all that. But either way, I just wanted to say a huge thank you for having me tonight. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak to you guys. I do not take this opportunity lightly. And my goal tonight is just to help you with what goes on up here, right? All those voices that we don't seem to understand or that seem to keep us stuck. And we're going to break through that tonight. And my goal is to help you master the negative self-talk and the limiting beliefs that go on between your ears so you can truly become the person that you need to be to achieve incredible things in your life and your business. So before we get rocking and rolling with this, put the phones away, turn off Instagram stories, put the kids in a closet, whatever you have to do. Just be fully present tonight. And I promise you that from doing that, you're going to learn so many amazing things to completely change the course of your life. So let's start with some participation and type in the chat box. What is a really big goal that you have for 2019? What's a really big goal that you have? It could be in relation to your Beachbody business, but anything at all. What's a really, really big goal that you have? Elite. I love it. Keep these coming. And as you type these goals in, there's something really cool about it. There's a recipe to making it happen. You know how to hit these goals, right? 6 figures, 5-star elite, all that stuff. It's simple. Do your business building activities, right? You know that. You've heard that. You have one of the best leaders in the company teaching you how to do that. But something you might miss is that how you go about using the ingredients in your recipe towards success matters. What does that mean? That means that you could invite 1 million people, but if your mindset is off, you're going to actually repel them. You could have the best training for your team in the entire world, but if your mindset is off, you're going to be going, why isn't my team doing anything all the time? You could put hours and hours and hours into a support group for your clients, but if your mindset is off, they're going to feel like that you're using them as a pawn. You could set goals at the beginning of the year and not realize that you're basing it out of fear instead of the person you actually want to become. So what goes on in your mind, your self-talk, your mindset is by far and above the most important piece out of all of this. And you've heard that a million times before, right? You've heard change your thinking, change your life. But what I'm talking about is rewiring the way that you think so you respond positively when things don't go your way or when it seems to be going downhill. So where does negative self-talk come from? Like, where do you guys think it comes from? Do you think it comes from like your past? Do you think it comes from like something that happened in your childhood? Where do you think it comes from? In my opinion, It comes from past experiences, different reference points of your life that you've gone through that really carried weight in your life. And what I'm going to do is share a couple of stories in my life about where my limiting beliefs came from. And as I go through those stories, you don't have to have the same story in any way to relate to this. Just think, like, where does this make sense in your life? Or what limiting beliefs do you have because of things in the past? And then what I'm going to do is show you how I took them from a disempowering state to something that completely transformed my life. So growing up, I had an emotional roller coaster of a childhood. And it gave me some really screwed up beliefs about how life is. And I'm curious, type yes if you can relate to the topic of money stress at any point in your life, whether past or present. Type yes if that's you. Okay, awesome. So I did too. That was a huge challenge that I had. And I remember growing up, my parents would fight about money almost every single day. There was always a limitation, some form of, we can't afford this, some form of, why the hell did you spend that much money on this? And I remember I was probably 10 years old, and my parents were having another screaming match back and forth about why the bank account was overdrawn again. I remember going up to my mom, they're screaming at each other, go up to my mom, and I'm like, Mommy, why do you guys always have to fight about stupid money? And she tells me, shut up, go to your room. I don't need your opinion right now. Nothing too bad. But then what happened was my dad comes over with a soap dispenser and starts pouring soap on my mom's neck, on her head, down her back, and for talking to the kids that way. And it was the closest thing I ever saw to a physical altercation between my parents, and it just freaked me out. And I just linked up in my mind that, okay, the topic of money equals pain. Like, I remember it just saying, like, okay, money is bad. You don't want money because it will screw with you. And it just made me hate and fear it. And you pair that with seeing them always overdraft their account, eventually get divorced because of money, never having a peaceful Christmas or birthday, always saying no to vacations and all these things, like seeing them get divorced. Like, I believed it was bad. In fact, it took me 6 years to propose to my wife because I thought that if we had money, it would rip us apart. So you can imagine when I tried to build my Beachbody business background, I was a Beachbody coach for 5 years, built a 5-star diamond business. I know exactly what you guys go through. Okay. So you can imagine when I faced that time where I was trying to build my Beachbody business, I wanted the freedom, but money is bad, right? Like, do you see the disconnect there, right? You can imagine how it plays into your life. And a lot of you probably face something similar. And on top of that, I had a really turbulent relationship with my mom. So type yes if you can relate to having a tough relationship with a family member in some way, shape, or form. That was something that I grew up with as well. And let me just say, I love my mom. I've forgiven her for the pain of my past. I still have to consistently forgive her. But getting to that point took some time because I was really angry and I was really sad. I didn't realize that she was loving me in the only way she knew how at the time. But I just have this one memory drilled into my head. Like yesterday, I'd be laughing and joking on the school bus on the way home, and I'd see my stop coming up and I'd get super nervous. My heart would start beating. I didn't know why. And I would take my backpack, I'd walk across the yard, get to the garage door, type in the PIN code, walk in, nothing traumatic or anything. But you know how, like, if there is even if there's good memories in your childhood with someone, if there's bad ones, they tend to overshadow the good ones. You know what I'm talking about? So when I would get in, sometimes it was, hey, sweetie, how's your day? But most of the time, most of the memories I have were, why the hell are you even talking to me? Like, shut the F up, go to your room. I don't need you around me right now. I don't need the opinion of a punk kid. And that was how it consistently went in my life. Some days it was hugs. Some days I was getting screamed at and I was confused. And I remember thinking, like, why doesn't my mom love me? And obviously she did, just there was a screwed up way of showing it, right? And as a kid, you don't know what to think. That's just one example of a reference point from my past. My point in this is that I grew up craving love and never feeling like I was enough. So you can imagine when I started my Beachbody business, I wanted success and to make a genuine impact, but I'm not enough. You can see the pull, right? So you might have a totally different story, but where can you relate? What limiting belief or beliefs do you have now because of something that happened years ago that you haven't forgiven or changed the meaning to yet? Because when you're little, you're impressionable. And it's in those times that your beliefs about your life start to take shape. So when I started my business 6 years ago, it didn't matter how many people I invited. It didn't matter how many social media posts I put up. It didn't matter how many team calls I signed up to speak on. It didn't matter how much amazing content I had for my team. It didn't matter. My team wasn't growing to match the effort that I was putting in. I was always like, dude, why aren't you doing this? And on top of that, I became a spitting image of my parents. My bank account was always overdrafting. I was face to face with my deepest fear, which was mediocrity. And I had to figure out how to fix it. And I went on this journey of changing my whole life. I went on this journey of breaking through the negative self-talk and the limiting beliefs that I didn't even realize were there, that were getting in the way of my leadership ability. And I went on a journey of becoming the person that deep down I was meant to be. And that led me to the creation of my course, Appreciation Academy, which has helped hundreds and hundreds of coaches throughout the Beachbody Network. That program is how I changed my whole life. I'll talk to you guys about that at the end. That's how I went from stuck to thriving. So why do I tell you that? Because when I tried to build a business, and this might be what you're going through, the overwhelming amount of negative self-talk and the lack of belief and the secret obstacles that I didn't even realize were there stopped me in my tracks. And even when I would happen to hit Success Club or succeed in some way, it just felt hollow and empty. And so like I talked about, I created a system to overcome that. We don't have time to go through all of that in 1 hour, but if you take this really, really seriously, you're going to learn 3 of the major steps that I took to exploding my life. So number 1, write this down. Your thoughts are always the reason. Your thoughts are always the reason. The first thing you can do is change the way you think. And you've heard that, right? You've heard change your thinking, change your life, these cliche quotes a million times, right? So, but what I'm talking about is changing the way you naturally respond to the life events that happen. So what does that mean? Well, you start to tell yourself these stories, right? Money is bad. Building a team is hard. It's so much easier for Kristen. I'm not enough, whatever it is. And if you say it enough times, you actually start to believe it. For example, have you ever been at a party over the years and to sound cooler than you actually are, you exaggerate the details of a story you're telling, just to get more laughs or whatever it is. And so you get more laughs, it's reinforced. The next time you go back to a party, you exaggerate the details again with more conviction. And now it's 5 years into the future and you have no idea what part of that story is BS or not anymore. And you just say it with so much conviction and belief, even though you don't even know. The same thing happens with negative self-talk. Only instead of it being a fun party topic, it sabotages your whole life. And you go through life believing this. That's your default software. And it creates inner conflict. It changes the way you lead your life and your business. So type yes if you can relate to the feeling of forcing people to do something in your business. Feeling you have to force it all the time. That comes from your beliefs. We're going to talk about how to break through that today. And even if you just hit Success Club, it seems like it's not working. Guys, I hit Success Club for 4 years in a row. And just less than 4 years in a row, and I felt like I was stuck the entire time. And I didn't know why. Like my volume wasn't growing. I couldn't figure out why I didn't have the growth I deserved. And so to change this is really important to understand. To change this, you have to believe that you're enough before the evidence of your business says that you're enough. You have to believe that you're an amazing leader before you have a team. And that's really hard, especially when your business is saying that you're not, right? And you can change this. The way you get there, you can change this by changing your questions. Write this down. Better questions change your entire life. Better questions will eliminate negative self-talk. Better questions explode your business. If you've ever faced a point in your life where you're trying to convince yourself that you're good enough or that you deserve something great, but you never really actually believe it, there's a reason. For example, if you do a goal setting exercise or a vision board exercise and you see all these amazing things on there, the house, the debt-free symbols, the $100,000 sign, whatever it is, and you're saying that would just be so incredible, it would change my entire world. But there's that little voice back here that's just whispering doubt and insignificance into your subconscious mind going, there is no way you are ever going to do that. You know what I'm talking about, right? Just barely back here. You can barely hear him just whispering doubt and insignificance. You got to change that thinking. And obviously you got to change that thinking. And we can't get into all of it in 1 hour. That's what the course is for. But I can give you an amazing tool to start the process. So first, what is thinking? Thinking is nothing more than the process of asking yourself a question. That's all thinking is. So if you ask yourself a bad question, why am I a bad leader? Why can't I do this? Why is it so much easier for other people? Why am I stuck? You're going to get a really bad answer. If you focus on asking great questions, why am I enough? Why can I do this? Why am I amazing? Why am I so grateful? Why is my life incredible? Then you're going to get really great answers. The mistake I made is I thought I had to just keep hitting Success Club. And yes, you do. You absolutely do. But there comes a point where you keep doing that over and over again, but nothing changes. And even if you do hit it, you're still not happy. So let me give an example to show you what I mean. Look around the room you're in right now and count the number of things that you can find that are red. Count things that are red. Ready, go. Look for red, 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 look for red. Cool. You found things that were red, right? Awesome. How many things did you find that were blue? No idea. Why? Because you weren't looking for blue. But check this out. Look around the room right now for everything you can find that's blue. Ready, go. Look for blue, 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 look for blue. Kristen sure counts. Look for blue, 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 look for blue. Holy cow, how many more things did you find that were blue? And how many of you saw green and pretended it was blue just so you would feel successful at this exercise? So what does that prove? That proves that when you look for red, you don't even notice blue. And when you look for blue, you don't even notice red. Have you ever been in the market for a car? And the second you decide you want to buy a 2017 Ford Fusion, you see that car everywhere, every street light, every stop sign, every street corner, everywhere. Why? Because you started looking for it. You started looking for it. So how does this apply to your business? When you focus on what you don't want, why am I not enough? Why am I a bad leader? Why am I stuck? Those are the seeds of doubt and skepticism and pain. And those thoughts will grow in your mind like weeds. Remember what Jim Rohn said. He said, stand guard at the gates of your mind or weeds will grow automatically. Again, that stand guard at the gates of your mind or weeds will grow automatically. What the heck does that mean? That means unless you always look consistently for blue, you will automatically find red. Why? Because your brain's primary job is not to make you happy. Your brain's primary job is to make sure you survive. It is a survival mechanism. It is looking at any moment in time for what to protect you from. So if you notice you have negative self-talk, don't get down on yourself. That's literally just your brain doing its job. It's trying to keep you safe from pain. Because think about it. Big goals equal potential rejection or potential loss or you not being able to get there, whatever it is, that's potential pain. Your brain's going, whoa, 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 don't go for that. It can lead you towards pain. So when you have negative self-talk, it's just your brain doing its job and it's just your mind undirected or it's not directed with where you want to go. And why is this? Millions of years ago, you weren't worried about sending an invite on Facebook. You were worried about the saber-toothed tiger hiding in the bushes that was going to eat your kid. That's what you were worried about millions of years ago. We haven't evolved. So now our survival-based brain is looking for what to protect us from when it comes to our business. So you have to stand guard at the gates of your mind or weeds will grow automatically. That means flood it with blue as often as you can or it will naturally find red. Red is your default setting of life until you program it to look for blue. So let's do an example from Beachbody. Ask yourself this, why am I not enough to build an amazing business? Why am I not enough to build an amazing business? Ask yourself that right now. What happens when you ask yourself that? Listen to all the crap that pours out of you. How motivated do you feel when you ask yourself that? You don't feel motivated at all, right? And even when you read positive thinking, self-help books, all that stuff, it doesn't change the fact that you have that voice in your head that says you're not enough. I shared a couple stories a minute ago about where my limiting beliefs came from. What are yours? Raise your hand or type yes, because I can't see you on here. Type yes if you can relate to any of these, whether past or present. Why isn't my team doing anything? Why can't I get it right? Why don't people want to join me? How come I always mess it up? Why am I so broke? Why can't I catch a break? Why is it so much easier for my upline? Will I always be this stuck? Those are disempowering questions, red questions. And it doesn't feel very good to ask that. And let me guess, it leads to a lot of pain, a lot of procrastination. There you are looking at your life, frustrated with the results you're getting. And no matter how much someone tells you they believe in you, it doesn't change the fact that you have that voice that says you can't do this. You know what I'm talking about, or am I crazy? So when you set a goal, your dominant beliefs will determine if that goal comes true. Meaning, like, goal setting is nothing more than the process of trying to create a new reality as opposed to your current reality. That's goal setting. You're trying to create a new reality as opposed to your current reality. The gap in the middle is whether you're looking for red or looking for blue. That's it. And until that language is consistently blue and you build a blue bridge from where you are to where you want to be, you're not going to get to where you want to go because that red's going to hold you back. So when you say, why is it so hard to build my business? Did you notice that your brain actually looks for an answer? It looks for an answer. Even if you're successful, it looks for an answer, unless you programmed it, right? And that's how insidious negative self-talk is. Something you need to understand is that your entire life can be changed by asking yourself more empowering questions. Your entire life. Your brain is a Google search engine. It will answer whatever you type into the search bar. And if you don't intentionally type in something blue, it will automatically spit out something red. Make sense? So what if you intentionally reverse this? What if you take ownership of your life and realize that since your responses in your brain are just like a Google search engine, and it will give you an answer to whatever you type in, you might as well ask it an intelligent question that leads you to a better life, right? When you say, why is it so hard to build my team? What does your brain do? It finds all the reasons why it's so hard to build this thing. And that's what you focus on. So you never solve your biggest challenges. When you sit down to work, you're literally looking for every reason why you're not capable. So you don't send the invites, you scroll Facebook. You don't support your clients, you wonder why more aren't coming to you. You don't serve and love your teammates like you should in the best way possible. You check in with them and you force them to act, almost like you're checking in like your mom would the first weekend of college, right? Like, here's what's crazy. There are amazing people and opportunities and blue that stumble across your life every single day. But because your mind is focused on why is it so hard, self-sabotage steps in and you won't even notice the incredible opportunity sitting right in front of you. You won't even notice that dude sitting on the park bench that has high blood pressure that you could literally save with Shakeology. You won't even notice the mom next door that has no freaking clue how she's going to pay for her kid's college education, and you have her freedom trapped in your mouth right now. You won't even notice her because you're too focused on red. Does that make sense? So let's change this up. Ask yourself this. Why is it so easy to build an amazing business? Why is it so easy to build an amazing business? What happens? You still look for an answer, right? And even if you're brand new, you look for all the reasons why you can. You look for an answer. You start to focus on the opportunities, the people you could reach out to, the sacrifices you can make. Could you imagine if you fill your mind with just this one step of my program every day? And here's the key. You don't have to have the answer to what you ask. You just need to live in a question that leads you towards the life that you want, because when you're in the right state of mind and you know the direction you want to go, the how will reveal itself. Always remember that. You don't need to know how. You'll figure out how, but live in an empowering question that leads you to where you want to go. Every problem you face is just an empowering question you haven't asked yourself yet. So your homework coming out of tonight, after we get off of here in like 30 minutes, is to write down all the negative crap you ask yourself on a regular basis. Why am I broke? Why am I fat? Why is my business not growing? Why am I stuck? Why does my husband always annoy me? Whatever those negative questions are for all parts of your life, and you're going to flip it on its head to its empowering alternative. That does not mean, why is it so easy to no longer be fat? That's still focusing on the negative. You're going to turn it into, why am I so wealthy? Why am I so healthy? Why is my business booming? Why is it so easy to lead my team? Why am I such a great leader? The empowering alternative of your disempowering question. And you're going to flood your mind with it. Remember, stand guard the gates of your mind, or weeds will grow automatically. There are two questions that changed my entire life that I ask myself every single day for 2 years. And I still ask myself these. Why am I so kind to myself every day? And why am I worthy of living an amazing life? Why am I so kind to myself every single day? And why am I worthy of living an amazing life? Guys, life gets 100% easier if you are 1% nicer to yourself. That's so important to understand. So what you're going to do is you're literally going to flood your mind with these empowering questions. I literally recorded it of myself saying it with passion and excitement and enthusiasm. And I listened to it while I slept, while I was doing the dishes, while I was taking a shower, walking the dog. I listened to my empowering questions daily for years, and my life changed. Could you imagine if you had a Post-it note on your car dashboard that read, why is it so easy to fall in love with my spouse again today? And that's the last thing you read before you walked in the door from work? How would your relationship change forever? Or if you had the words like an alarm that went off on your phone that went off like 5 minutes before your kids got home from school, that said, why is it so easy to be a loving mother today? And that's what you read right before they come in the door. how would their future change forever? How would their self-confidence change? How would they grow up to become independent men or women that love themselves because mom or dad chose to love them every day? This will change your life if you do this. It is a promise. This is one of the ways I changed mine. But guys, this will change everything for you. What you're doing is you're planting new thought seeds daily, and you're watering these blue thought seeds with a question. And you stop watering the disempowering ones. You put some weed killer on that. And now the only plants that you water are the blue flowers. And within less time than you think, your garden is gorgeous, and it's bloomed, and it's flooding your life with oxygen again. And when your life has oxygen again, guess what happens? You feel alive. And when you feel alive, guess what happens? People are attracted to your business. This is where it seems so much easier for other people, where it just seems like they're just bringing in so many people to their business. This is why, because they're looking for blue every single day, because they don't even give their brain a fighting chance to find red. Is this one mindset strategy helpful so far? Think you can use this in your business, your life, your business, everything? Awesome. I have two more for you guys. Write this down. Number 2, your problem is not the problem. How you face your problem is the problem. Your problem is not the problem. How you face your problem is the problem. What does that mean? When you are so emotionally attached to a goal coming true, you actually push that goal away from you. Now, don't take that to mean that you shouldn't be excited or passionate about goals. You absolutely should. What I mean is, when your happiness is dependent on a goal coming true, you are pushing that goal away. How many of you have found yourself pushing for a goal and it seems like it's just barely out of reach every time? Or even if you do happen to hit success level 10 or 20 or 5-star or whatever it is, it's not even fulfilling. It just feels empty inside. That's because you are attached. You're attached to your goals. It's because you think this must happen and then I can feel happy. This must happen and then I'll be fulfilled. When you think this way and you come up short, how does it feel if you miss a goal? Which, by the way, you're going to do. How does it feel? Your self-worth takes a hit. You don't believe you're enough. And compounding negative self-talk, you just feel stuck every day. All those negative stories are amplified in your head saying you're not good enough, so you start to believe it when it's BS. When you try to build a business that way, isn't it incredibly overwhelming and intense to try to solve that? And you start to accept it because you have no idea how to break through, but it's not true. Huge important note here. And this is something you need to bang into your head and truly grasp if you ever want to be fulfilled and happy and successful. And by successful, I don't just mean in financial terms. I mean in emotional freedom terms, like feeling happy on a day-to-day basis. You need to understand that that business and success will not cause happiness unless you're already happy. Business and success do not cause happiness. Happiness causes business and success. Learning how to be happy. This is why all the Instagram trainings and all that don't work for you, because you haven't learned how to be happy. You got to learn how to be happy first. And then, and by the way, that's what I teach. That's what I'll offer you guys at the end. Like, you got to learn how to be happy first, or your goals aren't even going to matter to you. They're not even going to come true. You're just going to be stuck. I didn't get that for years. And it's why I stayed stuck. It's one of the main reasons I didn't get to what I wanted to. You don't need to find the answer, because the journey you're on is the answer. So seeing your current good is the fastest way to increase more good. What does that mean? That means, like, if you view where you are right now as wrong, you're never going to get to your goals. And even if you stumble upon your goals from just happenstance, like you just happen to get there, it's not going to be fulfilling, right? So you need to love where you're at. Even if it's not where you want to be at the end result, you need to love where you're at now. This is why Shaun T always says, you need to love your body now, because that's all you've got to create the body you want. You need to love where you are right now. Seeing your current good is the fastest way to increase more good. Step into the common sense corner. If you're God, the universe, whatever you believe in, and you have your creation down on earth that you put all your effort into creating, just go with me on this. And you have person A and person B down on earth. And person A is that person that looks for red. They focus on how they're not enough, how they can't do this, how it's so hard for them, how it's raining outside and it means it's going to be a bad day. That's person A. And person B is that person that focuses on, you know what? Oh my gosh, I am so excited to lose 100 pounds. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I'm going to figure it out. This is so cool. I am so excited to get to 5-star diamond, and I'm going to learn how to do it. I'm going to learn from my amazing coach, Kristen, on how to get there. And I'm so excited to get to financial freedom in my life. And oh my gosh, there's these little bees that fly around outside in the summer, and they're like 1/100th of my size. And they have so much courage. They'll sting you if you get too close. And they have so much courage. This is a pretty cool place to be. I just love this life. It's incredible. Obviously, I'm making stuff up. You get the point, right? If you're God, the universe, whatever you believe in, and you have person A and person B, are you going to give more to the person that doesn't love what they already have down on your creation? Or are you going to give more to the person that loves everything they've already got? You're going to give more to the person that loves what they already have. This is where abundance, that word abundance, gets thrown around in the personal development industry all the time. Abundance literally means that you love your life as where you are now, and you love what you're going to create. It's where you view where you are not right now as not wrong, but right. It's exactly where you need to be instead of wrong. And so seeing your current good is how you increase more good. And what's awesome about this one skill is it means you don't have to work nearly as hard for exponentially better results. Because instead of slamming down on that gas pedal to get to your destination as fast as you can, and your tires are spinning and smoke's going everywhere and you're slamming down, you have no idea why you're stuck, and you see all these other cars flying by you on the highway to success, and you don't know what you're doing wrong, you can't figure it out, you realize the only thing that's been wrong this entire time is that your emergency brake is on. That's it. So to go further faster, you don't need to push down harder on the pedal of success. You just need to release the emergency brake on your life. Most people try to climb this big mountain of success. Follow this metaphor here. Big mountain of success, saying that they'll be happy when they get to the top. Put your goal on top of a mountain for a second. The problem is that it's the same thing as trying to climb Everest with a blindfold on. When you're doing that, you're going to trip, you're going to fall, you're going to break a bone, you're going to fall off a cliff. It's going to take way longer to get up and running. This is self-sabotage. Those bouts of depression on the couch where when you trip and fall and you can't seem to get back into it, and you're wondering why you're not at your goals yet because you can't see where you're going. And even if you do happen to get to the top of the mountain, you're not going to be able to see all the beauty and the scenery around you. It just feels empty and hollow. This is why you get to Success Club 10 and you're like, well, now what? Right? That's what that is. So what if you just take the blindfold off and you go on this adventure for the experience of hiking and not just the summit? What if you appreciate the beauty around you as you go? You love the scenery, the climb, the wildlife in the distance, the ups and the downs, the valleys and the peaks. You realize that every part is just as beautiful as the summit. And the top will become so much more rewarding because you were grateful along the way. When you're in a state of this must happen and then I can be fulfilled, how the heck does that come off to your team? How does it come off in your social media posts? Even more importantly, how does that affect your relationship with your husband or wife? And most of you are trying to build a business that way. It's not going to work, right? It's going to keep you stuck. So what if you let go and you just be okay and happy either way? What if you take the blindfold off and you love the ups and the downs, the goal and the journey? What if you become committed to that goal, still excited about it, still loving that goal and that destination, and committed to loving the trail and the hike that you're on? What if you go on this hike for the experience of hiking and not just the summit? Wouldn't you be more fulfilled, more relaxed, happier, less hurt by challenges? And even if you seem to be going down away from that summit, meaning you drop in rank, a coach quits, a return order, you miss Success Club, summit's up there, you seem to be going down, you still are on the path to get to the top. So you realize it's going to be okay. And it's awesome either way because you learn something instead of hate something. So what if you make a decision today to do this Beachbody business for the growth you experience instead of just the outcome? What if you do this for the person you're becoming instead of just the freedom? How would everything change if that's how you went about your business? Like, you know that feeling you have in your heart where you feel like you're forcing things all the time and you don't know why you can't break through? That can literally go away tonight. You can become alive again. And what if your energy becomes contagious again? How would your life change? How would posting become easier? How would inviting become easier? How would leading become easier? Does that make sense? Living this way, becoming committed to a goal, loving the goal, and committed to loving to however life teaches you a lesson to get there, makes that so much more fulfilling. Does that make sense? Living this way makes success easier. So like I said, I can't get into the entire system of how to get into that state on a day-to-day basis on a 1-hour call. That's what I do for my profession. But I can give you one final tip that will make this so much easier. If you have time for one more, this one will change your whole life. I call this the secret sauce. You might know it as genuine gratitude. Genuine gratitude. Write this down. Gratitude is a business tool. Gratitude is a business tool. It is not something that just hippies do to feel good one day. It is a business tool, and I'm literally going to prove it to you. And in fact, you're going to prove it to yourself. So by gratitude, by the way, I don't mean, and count and see if this is you, where you're going, you know, this is just so freaking hard. I don't know how I'm going to build this. I'm never going to get to 5-star. I'm so stuck. My kids won't shut up. I don't have time to build my business. My husband won't support me. But I'm going to take out my journal and write, I'm just grateful that I have a roof over my head. That is not gratitude. That's not gratitude. That's you rationalizing why you're stuck in life and trying to feel a little bit better about the things that you were just complaining about. That's all you're doing when you do that. What I mean is genuine gratitude that you feel in your heart that I'll take you through in a minute. So write this down. It is impossible to feel pain when you're deeply grateful. Impossible. It's like jumping up and down in the mirror naked and being sad at the same time. It does not work, right? It won't happen. So it's impossible to feel any disempowering emotion that stops your business, meaning anger, resentment, fear, jealousy, comparison, sadness, depression, anxiety, all of it. You cannot cannot feel it if you are genuinely grateful. And some of you guys are going, that's bullshit. I practice gratitude every day and I still feel those things. You haven't practiced real gratitude then. Real gratitude. It's impossible. And you're going to experience it in a second. When you are genuinely grateful, it opens up the floodgates to abundance. This is where things just start flooding to you. And let's have some perspective first before we go into this exercise. Think about this. You're watching a video about mindset on a computer or a smartphone or tablet from anywhere in the world right now, but you're probably on a couch or at a desk in a cozy apartment or house, and you have a blanket on, and you feel like you're safe in your place. You have locks on your doors, and you're probably wondering what you're going to have for date night this weekend, or you can probably drive your car to your job where you make a great living for your family or supplement the income for your family, or you can probably take your kids to the doctor to get treated for medical care, or take your dog to the vet for rabies shots or whatever it is. And probably tonight you're going to turn on your Apple TV or Roku or whatever it is and watch Tidying Up, whatever that show my wife's into, or Friends or whatever it is. And most of you take that for granted. When there's a mother out there that's literally going to watch her baby starve to death before 10 p.m. Eastern tonight. When there are people out there injecting needles into their arm to cope with pain, when there are people that have committed suicide today, when there are countries that still live in communism, when most of the world lives on $2.50 a day, $900 a year, if you are in the bottom 1% of this country, you are in the top 1% of the world. You don't have problems. If you can't pay your electric bill, you are rich beyond measure. You're so accustomed to the miracles happening around you every single day that you don't even view them as miracles anymore. And most of you probably view miracles as scarce and don't appreciate how literally everything around you was once a thought or an idea. This computer or phone you're watching on right now was once an idea. This whole team was once an idea this incredible woman had. That's all it was. It was that'd be cool if. I hope that would happen one day. That's all it was, which proves that you can create miracles any second if you want to. We have the tendency to let go of gratitude and make it a rule that we can only be happy if something happens. And just like we talked about a few minutes ago, that is setting you up for suffering. And if you can take away one line from this entire talk, it is the following sentence. If you instill this into your heart, your life will change forever. And that is, nothing has to happen for you to be happy. Nothing. And as long as you structure your life in a way where your happiness is dependent on a goal or something you don't control, the way someone responds, your spouse, whatever it is, you will never be fulfilled in the way you desire. You could have a ton of success and feel like you're losing because the scorecard you're using to measure your life is unfair, because it only allows you to be happy if the next thing happens. And achievement without gratitude is total failure. Achievement without gratitude is total failure. You are breathing. You are alive. You already have the biggest gift you could ever receive. That should be enough to smile about. And if you're smiling, business gets easier. A lot of you have these high expectations of your kids, your spouse, your team, your volume, your sales, your challenge groups, whatever it is. And when your life conditions, meaning the way life is now, doesn't match up with how you think it should be, you get frustrated or angry or sad or depressed. Like these rules of what needs to happen first before you can feel fulfilled or happy. You need to let that go. And that's what I teach in my course. Gratitude is one of those ways. Your view of life literally determines your future. So every single day, condition your mind to being grateful, and slowly the anxiety, the depression, the overwhelm, the fear, the negative self-talk, it's going to dwindle down. You won't notice it. You'll become excited about every single day. You are talking to someone that when he built a Beachbody business, and this is why I can relate to what you're going through and how I know I can help you. I went through a period of time, and tell me if this is you, where I knew what I wanted so bad, but I'd find myself on the couch not able to do it. And then I'd have these good days where I'd rock it, and then these bad days where I'd be stuck. And I'd go through this perfection and guilt loop where I would need to do things perfectly. And if I didn't, I felt guilty. And then I'd reset, do something perfectly. And if I didn't do it perfectly, I felt guilty. And it was perfection, guilt, sadness, depression, anger, anxiety, fear, just dwelling on my sorrows and feeling stuck in my life. And I was just like depressed. I would literally see my laptop staring at me going, dude, change your life. You have all the tools you need. But I couldn't get myself to do it. And I wanted to change so bad, but I couldn't get myself to do it. And maybe this makes sense. I was depressed. And even worse than that, I was pissed off at myself that I was depressed. I was pissed off at myself for not being able to change. I was pissed off at myself for being less than I could really be. And from practicing what I teach in my course now, those periods of anxiety and overwhelm and all that stuff, it went from 4 times a week to 1 time a week. Then 1 time a month, 6 months, a year. And now my default setting is genuine happiness. And that comes from practicing this and instilling it into who I am. And yes, there are days once in a while where I get the whole woe is me feeling and I get depressed and useless that day, but I can get out of it in 3 minutes. In fact, what I learned from my mentor, Tony Robbins, which is what I want to teach you, is that you can solve any problem in your life using gratitude or find direction in a challenging time using gratitude. This is how gratitude is a business tool. So everything I'm about to teach you, I learned from him. I do not take credit for this part of the call. This is all his stuff, but it's so powerful that I need to share it with you because it can impact your life so much. So what they found, and they measured someone's brain waves and heart waves at the same time when someone was trying to solve a problem from a state of stress. And they found that when they measured the EKG and the EEG, the heart waves and the brain waves, they noticed the waves were all scattered and all over the place in the chart. It was like chaos on the screen. But when someone got into a state of genuine gratitude, the EKG and the EEG showed that the heart and the brain aligned, and they were smooth and big half circles and moving slowly and just working with each other at the exact same time when you were in a state of gratitude. And they could team up together, right? It was like, you might know this as alignment or flow. And that's what I'm gonna take you through right now. So get somewhere in your house where you can allow yourself to feel just every emotion possible, where you won't be distracted by anyone, where you'll just be fully there. If you're around other people, or if you're, I'm not sure how Zoom works, if you guys can all see each other, if you know that other people seeing you on the screen will make you less like, you won't open up as much, then turn your video off. I'm not sure if you guys can all see each other, but turn your video off if that's you. And just do this and be fully present and try this. And I promise you, if you play all out with me, you can change your life in the next 5 minutes. And that's a promise, okay? So picture something in your life that stresses you out on a scale of 1 to 10, a 7, 8, 9, or 10, just something that you don't know how to solve. It's unfinished business in your life. You feel stuck. You just don't know how to break through. Just something in your life where you just feel stuck and you can't figure it out. It stresses you out so much and you don't know where to go. And think of all the pain it's causing you. Think of how you feel stuck from it. And once you got your thing, cool. Shake your body out. Shake your body out. Sit up nice and tall and close your eyes. And keep your eyes closed until I actually tell you to open them. I'm going to take you through what's called heart breathing. So take a deep breath in your nose and exhale out your mouth. Deep breath in your nose again and exhale out your mouth. One more time. Deep breath in your nose and exhale out your mouth. And notice how your breath has already calmed your mind. And now take both your hands and physically put them on your heart. Trust me on this. Physically put them on your heart and keep breathing deep into your heart. Like as you breathe, imagine the air flowing in your nose, through your heart, back out your mouth. Big deep breath in your nose, through your heart, back out your mouth. And keep breathing that way the duration of this exercise. Keep breathing deep in your heart. Feel the power of your heart for a second. Feel the strength of your heart. Your heart beats 100,000 times a day without you having to do anything for it. As long as it beats, you live. It is the best and greatest gift you have ever received. You did not have to buy this heart. You didn't have to earn it. You didn't have to work for it. Something thought enough of you to give you this gift of life the moment you were born. You have inherent worth because this heart is beating in your chest right now. So take a second and feel so grateful for all that it's led to in your life and where your life is now because this heart is beating in your chest. It beats even when you sleep. It's such a gift. And take that gratitude into your heart. Keep breathing deep and feel so grateful for this amazing gift of life. And feel that in your heart for a second and just say thank you. And now go to a memory from your past that you can feel unbelievably deep feelings of gratitude for. What's a moment? Is it when you said I do? Is it when you had your first kiss? Is it when you had your first kid? What's that moment for you where you can step back into that moment feeling so deeply grateful? And instead of seeing that moment from the outside, from like up above or from a different place, step back into that moment like you're there. Relive that moment all over again. See it. First person. Say the same things you said then. Feel the same emotions you felt then. Relive that experience like it's happening all over in front of you, breathing the exact same way. And let that feeling of gratitude just overtake you, feeling so grateful for that amazing moment. Let those same emotions just flood out your eyes. Let that smile creep out your face a little bit and just feel so grateful, so blessed from that amazing memory in your life. And now, take that in your heart for a second, feeling so grateful. And now go to a second memory. What's a second memory in your life you can feel unbelievably deep feelings of gratitude for? Step back into that moment like you're there, feeling so grateful. Same thing. Step back into it first person, like it's happening all over again. See what you saw then, feel what you felt then. Everything. Breathe the same way you did then, just like it's happening all over again, feeling so grateful. And step back into that moment for a second and take that and stack it on top of your heart and just appreciate it and just love it, feeling so grateful, and just treasure that moment and know that that feeling that you have now is within you whenever you want. This is you. So take that in and just feel so grateful. And now go to a coincidence. What's a coincidence in your life where you didn't expect it to happen, but something amazing happened? Like something was placed in front of you. You were in line at Starbucks. You met the love of your life. You didn't mean to get pregnant, but now you have an amazing family. What is that coincidence for you where you can truly see that it led to something amazing in your life, a career, a person, a relationship, an insight, a life change, just something incredible that you value. And think of how your life is so much better off because of that amazing coincidence. And think of all it led to in your life and where it is now. Was that actually a coincidence, or were you being guided the entire time? So take that into your heart right now and realize that life is always happening for you and not to you. You keep breathing deep. Life is always happening for you and not to you. Even the problems are gifts because they lead to greater growth, greater aliveness, a more elevated version of you. So take all of this and just like a flash right in front of your eyes, see it all going in front of you. Feel the gratitude for your heart beating 100,000 times a day. Let that first memory flash in front of you. Let that second memory flash in front of you. Let that coincidence where you were truly being guided and life was happening for you in that moment flash right in front of you. And let that gratitude build, feeling so grateful, hands on your heart, breathing deep, feeling so grateful. Let it overwhelm you with emotion. And now try to double the amount of gratitude. Try to triple the amount of gratitude and genuine appreciation and love that you have for this amazing gift of life. This is the real you that's not dominated by fear. This is you right now. So take this into your heart and realize that this is available to you whenever you want. So take that in and feel the energy starting to build. Let it double, triple, quadruple, and now feel your heart radiating out energy. Let it go to all parts of your body, your head, your arms. Just imagine this like flooding to your head, your arms, your chest, your stomach, your quads, your calves, your feet, and circulating back up to you and just feeling so grateful, so appreciative, so loving, just so grateful for this amazing gift of life, and just say thank you for this beautiful gift that you live every day. Every single day, this life is a gift. And now, from this beautiful state, from your heart, not your head, from your heart, go back to that stressful situation that you totally forgot about. And in your own mind, just complete this sentence for yourself, asking your heart, because your heart knows the answer. Ask your heart, in this situation, all I need to remember is blank. In this situation, all I need to say is blank. In this situation, all I need to do is blank. Your heart knows the answer, doesn't it? It knows the answer to your challenging problem. You can open your eyes. How many of you found something real from that experience? Something powerful from that experience? How many of you found direction in your life, in your business from that experience? That is how gratitude is a business tool. Friends, you do not control the length of your life, but you do control its depth and its meaning. You were not meant to experience mediocrity in your life. You were meant to feel fully alive every second of every single day. And it's my job to teach you how to do that. You're exactly where you need to be to learn what you need to learn to live the life you're meant to live. So instead of just knowing that, all you have to do to radically change your world is to instill this into who you are. And when you do that, game over. You began that today, but can you imagine how the world would change if you made this way of thinking part of your life? If you didn't need a team call to feel this way? What if this was how you responded to all situations in life? How would your life change forever? How would your marriage change forever? How would your business change forever? How would your bank account change forever? So if that's something that you know, this is the answer of what's stopping me. I just feel something real from this. And you notice that all those other trainings you're doing are not working. There's a reason. It's because you're not happy. And if that's something that you truly feel could benefit your life, Kristen and I have prepared an incredible opportunity that I highly encourage you to consider. If you've been pushing so hard for a goal and it feels like it's getting further and further away, and you keep hearing Just Hit Success Club, or you have all these trainings showing you how to do it, and you don't know why it's not working, and it seems so much easier for other people, and some days you crush it, some days you can't get off the couch, and even if you do happen to become successful, it feels hollow and empty, and you don't know what's stopping you from feeling success, and more importantly, happiness. I've created an online course that will bring you through all of it, and I mean all of it. This is not something where it's a business training. The reason you feel stuck is because you have negative self-talk, limiting beliefs, lack of worth, all those things keeping you stuck. You hear cliches all the time, change your thinking, change your life. This course teaches you how to change your thinking, how to be happy, how to attract success instead of repel it. And because your leader is amazing, we have arranged an amazing discount on this program. And investing in your personal growth is one of the biggest and most important things you can do for your entire life. That's not just something from me because I want you to buy a course. That's not what this is about. This is real. You will hear this from every personal growth expert. If you do not know why your life isn't moving forward, you need to learn from someone that's experienced it on how to move forward. Jen Richardson, I'm sure you guys know who that is, 15-star diamond coach, Million Club member, 4-time elite coach. She says, and I quote, Appreciation Academy is the missing link that every Beachbody coach needs to finally see success in their business. There are dozens and dozens of life-changing testimonials, not just for business, but for marriage, for bank account, for happiness, finances, everything. This will change your whole life. It rips away the layers of pain, preventing you from being the person that deep down you're meant to be. And like I said, it's not a business training. This is not something where you're going to get thrown into a group and I'm going to disappear. I am invested in you just as much as you're investing in me. This will teach you how to finally believe in yourself, how to silence those inner demons, and how to live every day with a smile on your face. And that discount will apply to either the payment plan option to make it easier for you if times are tough, or the full pay option if that's easier for you as well. Just like we talked about, business and success will not bring you happiness. You need to learn how to be happy before success will come to you. And it's the only course I've ever seen that teaches you how to be genuinely happy. It's how I went from stuck in my literal Beachbody business, doing what you do, to living a life of freedom, a life of growth, a life of love, a life of happiness. And the results of the hundreds of people in that program speak for themselves. So if you felt something real, there's no pressure, but this is something that can radically change your life. If you've been living in a memory that says you're not enough, I highly encourage you to invest in Appreciation Academy. I know how you feel because I literally lived it, and I'll show you how to get unstuck. That's a promise. So Kristen's going to share a Google form in the team page right after we hop off here. And if you'd like to learn more about this program, the discount, all of that stuff, fill out that form. And then later tonight or early tomorrow, I will send you an email with information on how to enroll with that discount. But before we hop off, I'd love to turn it back to Kristen. Thank you guys so much for the privilege of sharing with you guys tonight. It's a privilege to be your coach, your mentor, and I hope you choose to invest in Appreciation Academy. Kristen, I'll turn it back to you, my friend. Thank you so much for having me tonight.
Thank you so much for investing your time into us. That was an incredibly powerful exercise and emotional too, to bring yourself back to those memories. My husband and I won't go all into detail on the story, but I mean, we've definitely gone through some things in the last few years, and sorry, my cat's getting in the way, but rethinking through that and how those moments have brought us to where we are now and have shifted things in our life for the better has just revisiting that is a powerful exercise for sure. So, and I loved how you talked about how we have to learn to be happy with where we're at right now, 100%, you guys, or else he said, just like he said, we're going to have peaks and valleys in our business. That is in any business, any job that you have. And if we continue to focus on those things and we just sit there in the frustrations, we are not going to move forward. I've done this long enough. And I mean, I'll find myself going through those little moments of those days where I'm like, oh, like this is hard, and I feel like I'm stuck and I have to reprogram my mind. So I think that having these exercises and these tools is incredibly powerful and helpful. And we can do all the actions. You can do the business activity tracker, you can hit Success Club. But if you're not doing it with the right belief and the right energy, that is going to, it's going to be projected onto your team. It's going to be projected into your invites on your social media. It is just going to be felt. It really does affect your energy. So it's extremely important. And that's one of the reasons Beachbody has one of the vital behaviors as personal development. And the longer you're a coach and the higher you go in this business, the more and more personal development that you honestly need. The more that you have to work on your mindset, because you're going to have crap fly at you. And it doesn't just get easier. You have to learn how to know how to navigate through those things. So Brad, that was awesome. I am so excited to share with the team the opportunity to be in this academy with you. And I look forward to learning from it myself. So thank you so much. Do you have anything else? Or are we good? All right. Well, I'll let everyone go and I will get that link up right after our call. And I look forward to seeing everybody fill it out and we will get going in your academy. Thank you.